सद्गुरु साई सरस्वती,
सद्गुरु साई सरस्वती,
ब्रह्मदेव सखी भारती,
ब्रह्मदेव सखी भारती,
मंगल मंजुलवा विलासिनी,
मंगल मंजुलवा विलासिनी,
वीणवादिनी कलावती,
वीणवादिनी कलावती,
हंसवाहिनी विद्यादायिनी,
हंसवाहिनी विद्यादायिनी,
वेदमाता श्री साई भगवती,
वेदमाता श्री साई भगवती,
वेदमाता श्री साई भगवती,
वेदमाता श्री साई भगवती,
सद्गुरु साई सरस्वती।
दया सागरा करुणा करा,
दया सागरा करुणा करा,
दया सागरा करुणा करा,
दया सागरा करुणा करा,
जगदीश्वरा साईश्वरा,
जगदीश्वरा साईश्वरा,
जगदीश्वरा साईश्वरा,
जगदीश्वरा साईश्वरा,
दया सागरा करुणा करा,
दया सागरा करुणा करा,
भुवनेश्वरा अखिलेश्वरा,
भुवनेश्वरा अखिलेश्वरा,
भुवनेश्वरा अखिलेश्वरा,
भुवनेश्वरा अखिलेश्वरा,
गुणगम्भीरा साईश्वरा,
गुणगम्भीरा साईश्वरा,
गुणगम्भीरा साईश्वरा,
गुणगम्भीरा साईश्वरा,
दया सागरा करुणा करा,
दया सागरा करुणा करा,
जगदीश्वरा साईश्वरा,
जगदीश्वरा साईश्वरा,
दया सागरा करुणा करा,
दया सागरा करुणा करा,
भुवनेश्वरा अखिलेश्वरा,
भुवनेश्वरा अखिलेश्वरा,
गुणगम्भीरा साईश्वरा,
गुणगम्भीरा साईश्वरा,
गुणगम्भीरा साईश्वरा,
गुणगम्भीरा साईश्वरा,
दया सागरा करुणा करा।
भोला भंडारी बाबा शिव 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 साई बाबा,
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 अनाथ रक्षक दीन दयाळा पतित पावन साई बाबा,
अनाथ रक्षक दीन दयाला पतित पावन साई बाबा
अनाथ रक्षक दीन दयाला पतित पावन साई बाबा
अनाथ रक्षक दीन दयाला पतित पावन साई बाबा
भोला भंडारी बाबा शिव 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 साई बाबा
भोला भंडारी बाबा शिव 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 साई बाबा
योगेश्वर साई मुरारी योगेश्वर है त्रिपुरारी
योगेश्वर साई मुरारी योगेश्वर हे त्रिपुरारी
योगेश्वर साई मुरारी योगेश्वर है त्रिपुरारी
योगेश्वर साई मुरारी योगेश्वर हे त्रिपुरारी
नित्यानंद ब्रह्मानंद प्रेमानंद साई बाबा
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 भोला भंडारी बाबा शिव 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 साई बाबा
भोला भंडारी बाबा शिव 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 साई बाबा
अनाथ रक्षक दीन दयाला पतित पावन साई बाबा
अनाथ रक्षक दीन दयाला पतित पावन साई बाबा
भोला भंडारी बाबा शिव 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 साई बाबा
भोला भंडारी बाबा शिव 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 साई बाबा
योगेश्वर साई मुरारी योगेश्वर है त्रिपुरारी
योगेश्वर साई मुरारी योगेश्वर हे त्रिपुरारी
नित्यानंद ब्रह्मानंद प्रेमानंद साई बाबा
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 भोला भंडारी बाबा शिव 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 साई बाबा
हरे राम हरे राम कृष्ण हरे राम
हरे राम हरे राम हरे राम कृष्ण हरे राम
हरे राम हरे राम कृष्ण हरे राम
हरे राम हरे राम कृष्ण हरे राम
मुकुंद माधव श्री साई 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 राम
हरे राम हरे राम कृष्ण हरे राम
हरे राम हरे राम कृष्ण हरे राम
गोविंद गोपाल राधा किशन
गोविंद गोपाल राधा कृष्ण
गोविंद गोपाल राधा किशन
गोविंद गोपाल राधा कृष्ण
गिरिधर गोपाल मीरा किशन
गिरिधर गोपाल मीरा कृष्ण
गिरिधर गोपाल मीरा किशन
गिरिधर गोपाल मीरा कृष्ण
बोलो राम बोलो श्याम बोलो साई घनश्याम बोलो राम बोलो
श्याम बोलो साई घनश्याम
बोलो राम बोलो श्याम बोलो साई घनश्याम बोलो राम
बोलो श्याम बोलो साई घनश्याम
हरे राम कृष्ण हरे राम
हरे राम कृष्ण हरे राम
मुकुंद माधव श्री साई राम
मुकुंद माधव श्री साई राम
हरे राम
गोपाल मेरा किशा।
बोलो राम बोलो श्याम बोलो साई घनश्याम।
बोलो राम बोलो श्याम बोलो साई भगवान।
बोलो राम बोलो श्याम बोलो साई घनश्याम।
बोलो राम बोलो श्याम बोलो साई भगवान।
हरे राम कृष्ण हरे राम।
दशरथ नंदन श्री रामचंद्र धर्म संरक्षकरा। 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 देवकी नंदन मुरलीधरा आनंददायक श्याम। 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 ईश्वराम्ब सुत श्री सत्य साई प्रेमामृत भगवान। 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 जय 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 शिव शक्ति स्वरूपा मंगलदायक नाम। जय 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 शिव शक्ति स्वरूपा मंगलदायक नाम। बोलो जय 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 शिव शक्ति स्वरूपा मंगलदायक नाम। जय 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 शिव शक्ति स्वरूपा मंगलदायक नाम। दशरथ नंदन श्री रामचंद्र धर्म संरक्षकरा। दशरथ नंदन श्री रामचंद्र धर्म संरक्षकरा। देवकी नंदन मुरलीधरा आनंददायक श्याम। ईश्वराम्ब सुत श्री सत्य साई प्रेमामृत भगवान। जय 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 शिव शक्ति स्वरूपा मंगलदायक नाम। बोलो जय 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 शिव शक्ति स्वरूपा मंगलदायक नाम। दशरथ नंदन राम आनंददायक श्याम। प्रेमामृत भगवान। बोलो जय 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 साई राम। बोलो जय 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 साई राम। दशरथ नंदन राम आनंददायक श्याम। प्रेमामृत भगवान। बोलो जय 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 साई राम। बोलो जय 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 साई राम। दशरथ नंदन श्री रामचंद्र धर्म संरक्षकरा।
जय हो साई राम। जय हो साई राम। जय हो साई राम। जय हो साई राम। जय हो साई राम।
युग में राम।
त्रेता युग में राम, द्वापर युग में श्याम।
त्रेता युग में राम, साई द्वापर युग में श्याम।
राम तुम ही रहमान, साई सबका है भगवान।
राम तुम्ही रहमान, साई सबका है भगवान।
राम तुम ही रहमान, साई सबका है भगवान।
राम तुम्ही रहमान, साई सबका है भगवान।
कलियुग के अवतार, साई पतिपुरीश्वर राम।
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 जय हो साई राम, जय हो साई राम।
जय हो साई राम, जय हो साई राम।
करुणा सिंधु राम, साई पतिपुरीश्वर राम।
करुणा सिंधु राम, साई पतिपुरीश्वर राम।
जय हो साई राम, जय हो साई राम।
जय हो साई राम, जय हो साई राम।
त्रेता युग में राम, द्वापर युग में श्याम।
त्रेता युग में राम, साई द्वापर युग में श्याम।
राम तुम ही रहमान, साई सबका है भगवान।
राम तुम्ही रहमान, साई सबका है भगवान।
कलियुग के अवतार, साई पतिपुरीश्वर राम।
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 जय हो साई राम, जय हो साई राम।
Om Shri Sai Ram. On behalf of everybody seated here, including all the little brothers and sisters, and all my counterparts from all the different educational institutions who've gathered here at Bhagwan's lotus feet, I offer my humble pranams. Revered Indulalji, our respects to you too. Today was a very eventful day where almost 100 alumni and alumni from all of Bhagwan's educational institutions, namely Anantapur, Prashanti Nilayam, Brindavan, Alike and Muddenahalli, assembled in the Hridaya Mandiram this morning at around 10:30 a.m. to discuss how we can all deepen our involvement in Bhagwan's educational mission. Swami, on many occasions in the last 2 years, has spelled out our role as alumni and alumni in his educational mission. This morning's deliberations, followed by different discussions, were on the each one educate one scope, and also on what we would all like to collectively achieve by visiting the many campuses. While we're all gathered to discuss how we can deepen our involvement in the other two schemes that I've just talked about, during the course of sharing our experiences with one another, I realized that we had gotten much more than we had set out to give each time all of us set foot in these campuses. In the last 1 year, we had all visited multiple campuses that have come up in the last 5 years, be it the Jaipura Sriniketanam campus or the Divyaniketanam campus, the Gulbarga Vidyaniketanam campus, the Bijapur Premamrutham campus, or any other campuses that have been established by Bhagwan for both boys and girls who are studying in the hinterland. Each time we set foot in the campus thinking that we can share with them whatever we have learned, I think all of us left the campus gaining much more than we had given. These little students, through their acts, taught us love and humility, gratitude and simplicity, and also, in their little ways and big ways, their purity of devotion for Bhagwan. We were all greatly touched, and there was not a single dry eye when all of us left these campuses. At this juncture, I would like to recall a small incident that happened in Prashantinilayam a few years ago. As was Swami's wont, he would set out for darshan every morning at around 7 a.m. and he would walk past both the ladies and the gents' blocks. And at where Swami's chair was placed in Prashantinilayam, right in the center of the Kulwant Hall, the gents' block was there where the alumni, the current students would occupy the first line. Just on Swami's path, as he was walking on the path, there was a dry twig that was there on the path just as Swami was coming. There was a boy who was sitting right at that path, debating on whether or not he should pick that and clear the path. Swami was just a few yards away and he was approaching, smiling at devotees, taking their letters, blessing a few and talking to a few others. So there was this constant debate in his mind, should I pick this twig or should I just let it be? Because if he went ahead and picked the twig, there were millions of eyes that were going to be watching him do this. And he was scared perhaps that he would disturb the decorum and the discipline of the gathering there in the hall. So as he was debating this, Swami was approaching closer and closer to where this boy was seated and where the twig was lying. When Swami was just a couple of yards away, quickly a sparrow just swooped down, picked the dry twig in its beak and then flew away to perch itself on one of the chandeliers, as a lot of these pigeons and sparrows usually sit there. Swami came to this boy, looked at him, smiled, and he said, if you don't take this opportunity of serving me, don't worry, there will always be somebody else that would come and immediately take this opportunity of serving me. So Bhagwan, in many occasions, you have told us that this little opportunity of all of us coming together here is your grace and your love that you've given to all of us to be part of this educational mission. Like you just addressed us in Anandam, please bless us that we always do our best and then leave the rest to you. Even in his address to just a few of us in the working committee yesterday morning, Swami told us that all of us are part of his rocket that is going at very great speed, and we are all different units that are attached to the rocket. And at different points in time, there will be some units that are going to be left away so that the rocket gains speed and then launches itself into the galaxy and works like a satellite. At that point in time, apparently, when Swami was narrating this incident to a few other devotees, a devotee had remarked saying, Swami, please make sure that we're always part of this rocket and we never be deserted. Swami had corrected that person at that juncture, and he said that is an incorrect prayer to make, that I always be associated with mission no matter what. Swami had said that there might be points in time where Swami's mission has to pick up such a pace and his mission has to go forward. And if it means that your being cast away is going to just help Swami's mission grow by leaps and bounds, we have to accept Bhagwan's decision very humbly in believing that Swami knows the best about what to do with all of us. Bhagwan, the little time that we are associated with you in this lifetime or whatever time you choose us to be with you, please bless us that we always are able to do our best with the only motive of pleasing with you. Sai Ram. I now request Brother G.V. Praveen, who's also an alumnus of the Sri Satyasai Prashanti Nilayam and the Alike campus, to please come forward and share with all of us here about the proceedings on this morning's discussion and gathering. Brother G.V. Praveen, before coming here to lead the entire alumni mission, was working in different parts of India and the world. He was part of the corporate sector for over 20 years. And now he's come to Muddenahalli to lead Swami's alumni mission. Brother Praveen.
Om Shri Sai Ram. My humble pranams at Bhagwan's lotus feet. Today it's my sweet privilege to speak about a gift that Bhagwan has bestowed upon his students, his alumni and alumnae of the Sri Satsang Institute of Educational Institutions. Having received a very special kind of education, today we have an opportunity through this gift to give back what we received to a few others and thus spread the love that we received from Bhagwan during our days as students. The gift I'm talking about is a program called Each One Educate One. Since then, this program has enveloped not only us, our families, our colleagues at work, friends, and everybody who have been touched by this wonderful platform. So today, it has transformed it into a platform for all these people to connect with the noble cause of Vidyadana. And the surprising thing is that each and every person we speak to, and when we describe this program, are totally taken by the perfection which is built into it. And then that is where we owe it all to Swami. He is the inspiration, he is the designer, and he is the one who is guiding every movement of ours. And it is through Swami's command that Each One Educate One today has taken its first few steps in the past 2 years. And we are looking at, if not being able to keep pace with Swami's speed at which he is coming up with new institutions, but at least trail at a safe distance. Again, the program is guided by Swami's values, the cornerstones, something that we have experienced during our stay in the various institutions. The cornerstones being of holistic education, of a certain rural focus, of free education, which we are all beneficiaries of, and having witnessed how society had come together and helped us through those times to receive this kind of education. Today, we uphold the same values when we are going forth and championing the cause of Each One Educate One. Today, we also see at the moment, we have almost 22 institutions spread across 9 districts. And that is I would call it a moving target that Swami has set for us. But again, with his blessings, we hope to reach there once. And it is these goals that guide us each and every day through every conversation we have with people, and in our attempt to connect them to this wonderful world of Swami's growing mission. Over a period of time, this has transformed into each campus we see a community building around it, and we are grateful to Swami for having included us in this picture, because while some of the blessed devotees have come forward and have the opportunity of building the campuses, the infrastructure, the roads, and the facilities, and Swami's wonderful initiative of the Center of Human Excellence, through which there are quality manpower coming in to run these institutions, we have our own role to play in terms of taking care of the free education, which is an ideal that each of these institutions embody. And we are very grateful to Swami for that, for us to be a part of this. Today, the alumni groups are engaged in various campuses, and we are driven with the single most focus that every child in the institution should have the free education that we received, and the chart that you see now is something that drives us day in and day out, because every campus group is looking at a dashboard of this kind, which is guiding us in our work. Moving on, today, Sister Deepika just spoke about the wonderful day we all had in Swami's presence, and before that, opportunity to reconvene and exchange thoughts, and also take the opportunity to see how we map ourselves in Swami's mission using the Each One Educate One as a platform. And here are a couple of pictures from the morning session, which you will see on the screen. Largely, the session was the whole day was about celebrating the fact that we are renewing our bond with Swami through this program, celebrating also our coming together on using this as a platform. And there was also a lot of introspection as to each of us, how we could look at this as an opportunity to grow individually and as a group. Moreover, the second half of the day was about actually a group activity which prompted each one of us to translate those thoughts into actual action plans as to how we see ourselves taking to this work in the next 3 months, the next 6 months. And there are some wonderful ideas, and most of them I could see were inspired by Bhagwan, and we are again grateful to Swami for having guided us through the day, and I pray to him that he continues to guide us. The evening session, again, Swami, what can I say? You have been saying the same thing each time you see us and beckoning us to rise above our limitations. And we only pray to you that you hold our hands and take us there. Thank you, Swami. While today's event, or the quarterly meet, was more of a primer, we have the bigger event which is coming up on October 1st, when a much larger group is expected to join here. Again, it will be a celebration of our relationship with Swami. And we pray to Swami that he guides us during that very crucial day when we have an opportunity to gather here in his benign and divine presence.
We will now have Shri B.N. Narsimurthy, Chief Mentor, Shri Sathya Lok Seva Group of Educational Institutions, address all of us.
Most beloved Bhagwan, respected Sri Indulal Shaji, dear brothers and sisters, and very beloved children of Swami. By Swami's command, children of Sathya, the institution, the organization of Alumni was started in 2000, almost 17 years ago. In 2014, Swami changed its name, transformed the association into Children for Sathya Sai. For 14 years, the alumni of Alike and Muddenahalli institutions, they basked in the grace, divine grace and love of Swami. And then I should congratulate the broad-mindedness of alumni and alumnae of all the campuses founded by Swami when he was in the physical form, starting with the Anantapur campus, the Brindavan campus and the Prashanthrilim campus, Alike and Muddenahalli campuses, they came together to be members and messengers of children for Sathya Sai. It's a great achievement that alumni and alumnae from all the campuses of Swami came together to further the educational mission of Bhagavan. I should also congratulate them for the good step they have taken, especially this year, in achieving the target in some small way to support the free education of Swami. But here, Swami has been scattering so many opportunities all over. It is not only for the alumni and alumnae, it is for everybody, the current students, devotees, men and women, youth, boys and girls. This opportunity is there. This opportunity is given to us to emancipate ourselves, to redeem ourselves, and the primary objective of Swami is to give us an opportunity by which we will grow into divinity. This happened way back in 1976 when I took the prospectus of the Muddenahalli school to Swami at Prashantinilayam to be blessed by him. Swami asked me, what is this? I said, Swami, this is prospectus of the school. Then Swami looked at me and smiled and said, what about your prospects? That is the question he asked. See, that is what he is most interested in. These prospects of every one of us. How we grow spiritually in the lifespan allotted to us in this lifetime, especially when God is walking the earth. When God is walking the earth and we have the glorious opportunity to see Him, to listen to Him, to meet Him, to seek His guidance, we have to grab this opportunity with both hands and exert our best so that we grow. That is what is important, more than the work. The work is galloping, no doubt. I was telling the alumni and alumnae this evening in Anandam, how Swami has decided, has willed, till now in the last 5 years, 10 educational campuses, new educational campuses have come up, apart from the earlier ones, the Alike and Muddenahalli in the state of Karnataka. Now Swami has set a target and he has willed, see that is what is very important. From this year onwards, 4 new educational campuses will come up every year. And Swami told the alumni and alumnae, he told them this year, 2018 June, 4 boys educational campuses, and 2019 June, another 4 boys educational campuses, and 2020, 4 girls campuses will come up. And he was explaining to them the director of the girls education, Swami was explaining why I am delaying establishing more girls campuses immediately. And Swami said, the Center for Human Excellence for Boys was started 3 years back and the first crop is already ready. On day after tomorrow, 2nd of August, Swami is going to grant his benedictory discourse to the 13 boys who have passed out from the Center for Human Excellence with either Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science degree and sending them to various campuses. And the Girls Center for Human Excellence is started this year and they'll be coming up only after next 3 years. Therefore, the delay in starting the girls' educational campuses. And Swami's will prevail. There is absolutely no doubt. In spite of any hurdles or obstacles, it is going to prevail. And in June 18, 4 boys' educational campuses, one in the Tumkur, Sri Sathya Sai Karunya Niketanam, and in the Bellary district near Hampi, Sathya Sai Vishwaniketanam, in Koppal district, Sathya Sai Seva Niketanam. Already land has been identified by Swami's grace and work has started. And in the Uttara Kannada district near Karwar, on the banks of the river Kali, Sathya Sai Sattvaniketanam has to come up. Swami has already directed where to locate the next 4 campuses. The Bida campus, Bidir district in the north, and Shivamogga district in the west, Ramnagar district in the east, and then there is going to be the Mysore district in the south, wherein Swami has willed that educational campuses will come up in June 2019. We are witnesses to a very glorious phenomenon. It may be mind-boggling for us, but as Swami was explaining to his alumni and alumni this evening, when Krishna called upon the cowherd boys and girls to help him lift up the Govardhanagiri, nobody doubted him. Nobody asked the question whether it is possible to lift up a mountain. Definitely it is not humanly not possible, but all of them rushed because they had that faith, they had the courage. If our Lord tells us to do, we will be able to do. Finally, the mountain was lifted up, not by any of the efforts of these boys and girls, but by the will of Lord Krishna. That's what happened. See, anything that happens, whether it is educational campuses, schools or colleges, or it is the hospitals that are coming up, the ashrams coming up all over the world, all this will happen by Swami's will. But at the same time, Swami has made it clear, my job, my purpose is not to just establish educational institutions or healthcare institutions or ashrams. My job, my mission is the transformation of the human into divine. If these institutions come up, it is only to provide opportunities to all of us. We have to take that opportunity so that we transcend our limitations, our narrow-mindedness, our selfishness, and transcend into divinity, into pure and selfless love, and into selfless service. It's a glorious opportunity given to us, and we need to take it with both hands. And it's not only for the students or the alumni, for every devotee. And even those who are not devotees, it is an opportunity in any field. For example, just yesterday morning, by Swami's will, the breakfast seva was inaugurated in a little village called Ingaligi near the Hampi campus, Sathya Sai Vishwaniketanam, which is coming up. The school children were so very happy. Sathya Sai Annapurna Trust, under the auspices of which today more than 20,000 children are being fed breakfast before they go to school in the eight states of India. It is in itself a miracle, and it is being achieved by Swami's will. Yesterday morning we could see in those 200 children, little children, starting with nursery class right up to 8th class, how much joy was there in their faces. See, what we give is very little. Maybe we gave some upma, and the breakfast seva will continue. But what is important is they get a kind of feeling, assurance that there is somebody by name Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba, who is God on earth, who cares for us, who blesses us, who will guide us, who will lead us. Planting the seed of faith in the hearts, tender hearts of the children, is the foundation for this mission. With these words, I conclude and pray to Bhagavan to grant his divine message. Thank you.
Om Shri Sai Ram. As we pray to Bhagwan, I perceive him seated here in an ochre robe, and I repeat as he speaks.
ಸ್ವಾಮಿನ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿಂಹಾಸನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾವಿ ಬಣ್ಣದ ನಿಲುವಂಗಿಯನ್ನು ತೊಟ್ಟು ಕುಳಿತಿರುವುದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಅವರ ಸಂದೇಶವನ್ನು ನಿಮಗೆ ನಾನು ತಿಳಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ.
ఇంటిలోని జ్యోతి ఎంతయో వెలగగా పరులకింటి కగ్గి కరుగనేల తానే దైవమయ్యు దైవంబును మర్చుట తనను తానే మరచి మనుట కాదే. Means when there is this flame burning bright in your own house, where is the need to ask for fire from the neighbors? Knowing that forgetting that you yourself are God, though you are God, isn't it equal to forgetting your own selves?
ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಜ್ಯೋತಿ ಪ್ರಕಾಶಮಾನವಾಗಿ ಬೆಳಗ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ ನಾವು ಈ ಒಂದು ಜ್ಯೋತಿಯನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕಿಕೊಂಡು ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಅಗ್ನಿಯನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕಿಕೊಂಡು ಬೇರೆ ನೆರೆಹೊರೆಯ ಮನೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕು? ನಾವೇ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನಾಗಿದ್ದು ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಮರ್ತು ಹೋದರೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನೇ ನಾವೇ ಮರ್ತು ಹೋದಾಗೆ ಆಗುವುದಿಲ್ವೇ?
Dear embodiments of love, students, boys and girls, teachers and devotees.
ದಿವ್ಯ ಪ್ರೇಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪಿಗಳೇ, ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿಯರೇ, ಅಧ್ಯಾಪಕ ಅಧ್ಯಾಪಕಿಯರೇ ಹಾಗೂ ಭಕ್ತರೇ.
Like a rich man who has forgotten as to where he had buried his treasure and thinks of himself as a poor beggar, man, forgetting the divinity that is within, consider himself as a mere mortal.
ಒಬ್ಬ ಶ್ರೀಮಂತನಾದಂಥ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ತನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸಂಪತ್ತನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಔತಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ಮರೆತು ಹೋಗಿ ತನ್ನನ್ನು ತಾನು ಭಿಕ್ಷುಕ ಎಂಬುದಾಗಿ ಪರಿಗಣಿಸಿದ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ತನ್ನ ದಿವ್ಯತ್ವವನ್ನು ತಾನೇ ಮರೆತು ತಾನು ಕೇವಲ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮಾನವ ಜೀವಿ ಎಂದು ಭಾವಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವುದು ಕೂಡ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ವಿಪರ್ಯಾಸ ಆಗಿದೆ.
In the present times and age, it's been driven into the minds of young and old that they are mere this body-mind complex which is temporary and is bound to give way in coming times.
ಈ ಆಧುನಿಕ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಳೆಯ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗಾಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಹಿರಿಯರಾಗಲಿ ಅವರ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಏನು ಬೋಧೆಯಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ತಾವು ಕೇವಲ ದೇಹ ಮನಸ್ಸುಗಳ ಒಂದು ಸಮನ್ವಯ ಎಂಬುದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬೋಧೆಯಾಗಿದೆ.
And to fulfill the desires that arise out of this temporary body and the ever-changing mind, one is always engaged in constant action.
ಈ ತಾತ್ಕಾಲಿಕವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಅಶಾಶ್ವತವಾದಂಥ ದೇಹದ ಬಯಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಪೂರೈಸಲು ಸದಾಕಾಲ ಚಂಚಲವಾಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಚರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮನದ ಒಂದು ಬೇಡಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಪೂರೈಸಲು ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರತನಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಸದಾಕಾಲ.
But howsoever he tries to fulfill the desires that arise of this body and the mind in order to find happiness and peace, he is only failing in achieving so.
ಆದರೆ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಿಸಿದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನಸ್ಸುಗಳ ಬೇಡಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಪೂರೈಸಲಾಗದೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಒಂದು ಸಂತೋಷವನ್ನು ಆನಂದವನ್ನು ಅವನು ಅನುಭವಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
Though he aspires to experience this permanent happiness, he looks for it in the impermanent things that are around.
ಶಾಶ್ವತ ಆನಂದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಆತ ತನ್ನ ಸುತ್ತಮುತ್ತ ಇರುವ ಅಶಾಶ್ವತ ವಸ್ತುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಡುಕ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಸದಾ ನಿರಾಶೆ ಕಾದಿದೆ.
Like the deer, the kasturi deer, which forgets that the fragrance is coming from its own navel and keeps looking for its source all around in the jungle.
ತನ್ನ ನಾಭಿಯಿಂದ ಉಗಮವಾಗತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸುಗಂಧ ಮರ್ತಂತಹ ಈ ಕಸ್ತೂರಿ ಮೃಗ ಕಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲೋ ಅಲಿದು ಆ ಸುಗಂಧಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅದರ ಸುಗಂಧದ ಮೂಲಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅನ್ವೇಷಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು.
But how much ever it tries looking for it, though it feels it everywhere, it's unable to trace where it actually lies.
ಆದರೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸುಗಂಧ ಅದರ ಮೂಗಿಗೆ ಸದಾ ಬಡಿತಾ ಇದ್ದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಡುಕಿದರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದರ ಮೂಲವನ್ನ ತನ್ನಿಂದ ಹೊರಗೆ ಅದು ಕಾಣುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Not knowing that it is coming from its own navel, the poor deer runs all around the jungle in vain.
ತನ್ನ ನಾಭಿಯಿಂದಲೇ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸುಗಂಧ ಉಗಮವಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನ ಮರ್ತೋಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ಕಸ್ತೂರಿ ಮೃಗ ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
Likewise, man today is looking for this happiness, thinking that just the satisfaction of the senses and the mind would grant him that happiness and peace that he aspires for.
ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ತಾನು ಸದಾ ಅನ್ವೇಷಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶಾಶ್ವತ ಸುಖ ಈ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯ ಭೋಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನ ಬೇಡಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನು ಪೂರೈಸೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಎಂಬುದಾಗಿ ಭಾವಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಸದಾ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರತನಾಗಿ ಹೋರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ
But unfortunately, he is unable to realize that these pleasures that arise out of satisfaction of the senses are very temporary in nature, and though they give you some kind of happiness for a while, they fade away in no time.
ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಸುಖವನ್ನು ಇಂದ್ರಿಯ ಭೋಗಗಳು ನಮಗೆ ಕೊಟ್ಟರೂ ಕೂಡ ಅದು ನಂತರ ಅವು ಮರೆಯಾಗ್ತವೆ ಎಂಬತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನು ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಗುರುತಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ.
For instance, he feels hungry and an impulse to satisfy this hunger by pleasing the tongue.
ಅವನಿಗೆ ಹಸಿವಾದಾಗ ಅವನು ಆಹಾರವನ್ನು ತಿಂತಾನೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅದರಿಂದ ಒಂದು ರುಚಿ ನಾಲಿಗೆಯ ರುಚಿಯನ್ನು ತೀರಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಕೂಡ ಅವನು ತಿನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ.
As long as the food is in the mouth and reaches the stomach, he is satisfied, for his hunger is gone. But within no time the food is digested and the hunger begins again.
ಅವನ ಬಾಯಿ ಮತ್ತು ಹೊಟ್ಟೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆಹಾರ ಇರುವವರೆಗೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಹಸಿವೆ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ಸಂತೋಷ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಅದು ಜೀರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಹೋದ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಮತ್ತೆ ಹಸಿವೆ ಪ್ರಾರಂಭವಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
This way, again and again, he tries to make himself happy and only attains it for a short while before it disappears again.
ಈ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪುನಃ ತನ್ನ ಹಸಿವೆಯನ್ನು ನೀಗಿಕೊಂಡು ಸಂತೋಷ ಪಡುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವನು ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡುತ್ತಲೇ ಇರುತ್ತಾನೆ.
This ignorance that the true happiness lies within and not without drives him to do all these kinds of mad things which do not yield any result.
ಶಾಶ್ವತವಾದ ಸುಖದ ಮೂಲ ತನ್ನ ಅಂತರಂಗದಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ಗುರುತಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸುಖಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಅರಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ.
And keeps looking for it in the world outside where it truly does not exist, for it is just a mirage.
ಹೊರಗಿನ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಹುಡುಕ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ, ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯ ಮಾಯಾ ಮರೀಚಿಕೆಯ ಬೆನ್ನು ಹತ್ತಿದಾಗೇನೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
Finally, tired with all his efforts, comes back to himself and looks within. That is when he truly finds the source of it.
ಶ್ರಮದಿಂದ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಆಯಾಸಗೊಂಡು ಬಳಲಿ ತನ್ನ ಒಳಗೆ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆನಂದದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅವನ ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನು ತಿರುಗಿಸ್ತಾನೆ.
The deer runs around the jungle and finally tired when it lies in one place to rest and it puts his nose close to its stomach. That is when it realizes that the fragrance is right from its own navel.
ಪರಿಮಳದ ಮೂಲ ಅರಣ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಚರಿಸಿ ಹುಡುಕಿದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ಸಿಕ್ಕದೆ ಅದು ಬಳಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಸ್ತೂರಿ ಮೃಗ ಮಲಗಿಕೊಂಡು ತನ್ನ ಮೂಗು ತನ್ನ ನಾಭಿ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸುಗಂಧದ ಮೂಲ ತನ್ನಲ್ಲೇ ಇದೆ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ.
Man tries everything possible in the world to gain this permanent happiness. He thinks it will be in the objects of the senses, the material world, the name, fame, position, power, and all such things. But alas, tired, finally he takes refuge in God.
ಇಂದ್ರಿಯ ಸುಖಭೋಗಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಹೆಸರಿನಲ್ಲಿ, ಕೀರ್ತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ, ಒಂದು ಅಧಿಕಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಸುಖ ಇದೆ ಎಂಬುದಾಗಿ ಭಾವಿಸಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಹುಡುಕಾಡಿ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಬಳಲಿ ಅವನು ವಾಪಸ್ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ.
Having wasted enough time and energy in the pursuit of this illusion of happiness in the world, at the old age, when the senses are giving way, when the body is shaking and shivering all the time, when the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, teeth cannot do what they need to do, he finally seeks refuge in God, looking for the happiness.
ತನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಮಯವನ್ನು, ಚೈತನ್ಯವನ್ನು ಹೊರಗಿನ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಶಾಶ್ವತ ಸುಖಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಅನ್ವೇಷಣೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ವ್ಯಯ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಳಲಿ ಆಯಾಸಗೊಂಡು ವೃದ್ಧಾಪ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು ದುರ್ಬಲಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ, ಮನಸ್ಸು ದುರ್ಬಲಗೊಳ್ತಾ ಇರುವಾಗ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಶರಣು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ.
But by then he had wasted enough of his life, which is so very precious, and he cannot gain back the time that is already gone.
ಆದರೆ ಆ ಹೊತ್ತಿಗೆನೆ ಅವನು ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಬೆಲೆ ಬಾಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಮಯವನ್ನು ತನ್ನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳೆದುಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಆ ಸಮಯವನ್ನು ಪುನಃ ಪಡೆಯೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ.
And by the time he realizes and puts effort to understand and experience this, he has finished his lifetime on earth and must be born again into ignorance and go through the same cycle once more.
ಇಡೀ ಜೀವನವನ್ನು ಅಜ್ಞಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳೆದು ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡಿ ಗುರಿಯನ್ನು ಮುಟ್ಟಲಾಗದೆ ಪುನಃ ಹುಟ್ಟಿ ಇದೇ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯೂಹದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವನು ಚೆಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ.
It is unfortunate that he does not get the right guidance at the right time. Therefore, he lives the entire life in wasteful pursuits.
ಅವನ ದುರದೃಷ್ಟ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, ಸರಿಯಾದ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಿಯಾದ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನ ಸಿಕ್ಕದೇ ಇದ್ದದ್ದರಿಂದ ಆ ರೀತಿ ತನ್ನ ಜೀವನವನ್ನ ವ್ಯರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ.
But you all students are very, very fortunate. So fortunate that it cannot be even described in mere words.
ಆದರೆ ನೀವು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿಯರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದೃಷ್ಟವಂತರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ವಿಶ್ಲೇಷಣೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೂ ವಿವರಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೂ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ.
At this very young age, along with the academic education, you are being told the true goal of life and how to achieve it.
ಈ ಎಳೆಯ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಈ ಲೌಕಿಕವಾದಂಥ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣದ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲೇನೆ ಜೀವನದ ನಿಜವಾದ ಗುರಿ ಏನೆಂಬುದನ್ನು ನಿಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸಿರುವುದು ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಸಾಧಿಸುವುದು ಹೇಗೆ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
Not only you are being taught what is needed to live a comfortable life in this world, but also what would it take for you to finally realize your own divinity and be in a permanent state of bliss which is unshakable.
ಈ ಜೀವನದ ಪಯಣದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಉದರಂಬರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾದಂಥ ವಿದ್ಯೆಯನ್ನು ಕಲಿಸೋದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೇನೆ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಈ ಆತ್ಮ ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ಪಡೆದು ದೇವರನ್ನು ತಲುಪುವುದು ಹೇಗೆ ಎಂಬತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿದ್ಯೆಯನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
However, by just merely looking at the food or reading about them or talking about the items, one's stomach cannot be filled and hunger cannot be dissipated.
ಭಕ್ಷ್ಯ ಭೋಜ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇವಲ ನೋಡುವುದರಿಂದ ಅಥವಾ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತನಾಡುವುದರಿಂದ ಅಥವಾ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕೇಳುವುದರಿಂದ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹಸಿವೆ ನೀಗುವುದಿಲ್ಲ.
Only when you put at least a little bit in your mouth, chew it, swallow it, digest it, then you feel the joy.
ಆದರೆ ಆಹಾರವನ್ನು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪವಾದರೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದನ್ನು ಜಗಿದು ಜೀರ್ಣ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಮಗೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಲಭ್ಯವಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
Just like this law of this physical or material world, the spiritual or metaphysical world also operates on the same basis.
ಈ ಭೌತಿಕ ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ನಿಯಮ ಅನ್ವಯವಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ನಿಯಮ ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಅನ್ವಯವಾಗುತ್ತೆ.
By merely listening to the talks by the knowledgeable ones, by simply reading books written by the people who are wise, by simply discussing in forums about all that which has been spoken earlier, it's not possible for one to experience the joy which is spiritual in nature.
ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳಿಂದ ಅವರ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಕೇಳುವುದರಿಂದ ಅವರ ಪುಸ್ತಕಗಳನ್ನು ಓದುವುದರಿಂದ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸಮಾರಂಭಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಮರ್ಶೆ ಮಾಡುವುದರಿಂದ ನಮಗೇನು ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ.
But even if one teaching, one aspect of that message, if it is put into practice, it will yield the results and then you will truly understand the joy that lies within.
ಅದರ ಬದಲಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಬೋಧನೆ ಒಂದು ಭಾಗವನ್ನಾದರೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನ ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಲಭ್ಯವಾಗತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆನಂದದ ಸವಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಪಡಿಬಹುದು.
Children, you are being given the highest of the wisdom in the simplest and the easiest of the ways.
ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಉನ್ನತವಾದಂಥ ಪರಮೋಚ್ಚವಾದಂಥ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಸರಳವಾದಂಥ ಪದಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿಸಲಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
Do not underestimate it to be something that is worthless just because it sounds simple and easy.
ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಕೇಳುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಎಂಬ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಅದರ ಬೆಲೆ ಬಹಳ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಎಂಬುದಾಗಿ ಭಾವಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳಬೇಡಿ.
A great teacher puts the complex things in a very simple way.
ಬಹಳ ಕಠಿಣವಾದಂಥ ವಿದ್ಯೆಯನ್ನು ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ಗುರು ಸರಳವಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ.
And a simple teacher complicates the simplest of the things.
ಆದರೆ ಅಸಮರ್ಥನಾದಂಥ ಒಬ್ಬ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ಬಹಳ ಸರಳವಾದಂಥ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ಬಹಳ ಕ್ಲಿಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ.
Therefore, all this is being given to you as the extract of the juice from this fruit of spiritual studies.
ಈ ಒಂದು ಆಧ್ಯಾತ್ಮಿಕ ಜ್ಞಾನದ ರಸದ ರೂಪದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಬೋಧನೆ
You do not have to acquire this fruit, peel the bitter rind, remove the seeds, squeeze the pulp, and then drink the juice. All this is being done and being offered to you as something which is ready to consume.
ನೀವು ಈ ಹಣ್ಣನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದು ಅದರ ಕಹಿ ಸಿಪ್ಪೆಯನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದು ಬೀಜಗಳನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದು ಅದರಿಂದ ರಸವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸ ನಿಮಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲವನ್ನು ಕೂಡ ನಾವೇ ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇದನ್ನು ತಿಳಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
Pibare Ramarasam, this is the very sweet juice, nectarine juice of the Lord's name. Drink it.
ಈ ರಾಮರಸ ಎಂಬತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನ ನಾಮಾಮೃತವನ್ನ ನೀವು ಸವಿಬೇಕು.
Janama marana bhaya shoka viduram. This is the juice, or this is the medicinal juice which removes the sorrow of birth and death.
ಈ ಒಂದು ರಸ, ಈ ಒಂದು ಔಷಧ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಭವಸಾಗರದಿಂದ ಪಾರು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ, ಜನನ ಮರಣಗಳಿಂದ ಪಾರು ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ.
Sakala Shastra Nigamagama Saram. It is the essence of all the Shastras of the scriptures.
ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಗಮಾಗಮಗಳ ಒಂದು ಸಾರಾಂಶವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು.
Therefore, drink this nectar of Lord's name, Lord's teachings, Lord's message, and benefit thereby.
ಈ ಒಂದು ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನ ಬೋಧನೆಯಿಂದ ನೀವು ಉಪಕೃತರಾಗಬೇಕು, ಅದನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು.
Don't be like the elephant that thinks it is weaker than the chain that it binds it.
ಒಂದು ಆನೆ ತನ್ನನ್ನು ಬಂಧಿಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸರಪಳಿನ ನೋಡಿ ಇದು ತನಗಿಂತ ಬಹಳ ಪ್ರಬಲವಾಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಭಾವಿಸುತ್ತೆ.
Just because for years of its childhood it has been bound by a chain, it does not mean that after growing up also it is incapable of breaking it.
ಕೇವಲ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಪಳಿಯಿಂದ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಹಾಕಿದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನ ತೆಗೆಯುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಬೆಳೆದ ಮೇಲೂ ಕೂಡ ಆ ಸರಪಳಿ ವಶದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅಜ್ಞಾನ.
Yes, when nobody told you that you are divine himself, it's all right to know that you are bound by these petty desires like the chain that binds the little elephant.
ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾರೂ ಕೂಡ ನೀವೇ ದಿವ್ಯನಾದಂಥ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ಎಂಬುದಾಗಿ ಹೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಂಕುಚಿತವಾದ ಆಸೆಗಳಿಂದ
It's all right if the rest of the people in the world are bound by these petty chains and think of themselves as very little or limited.
ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಷೀಣವಾದ ದುರ್ಬಲವಾದ ಸರಪಳಿಗಳಿಂದ ಪ್ರಪಂಚದಲ್ಲಿ ಇತರ ಜನರು ಬಳಲ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲೇನು ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Because unfortunately nobody told them when there was time for them to know the truth.
ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೋ ಆ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ.
And now they have grown too old and weak, even though they are elephants, they are unable to break the same chain.
ಆದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಬೆಳೆದಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ, ಹಿರಿಯರಾಗಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ, ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಆನೆ ಈ ಸರಪಳಿಯನ್ನ ಇಂದ ಬಂಧಿಸಲ್ಪಡುತ್ತೆ ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
But you have been told this highest of the truth right at this ripe age.
ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಎಳೆ ವಯಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲೇನೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಪರಮೋಚ್ಚವಾದಂಥ ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇವೆ.
What it takes for them to understand after many decades, you are able to understand in barely a few years of your life here.
ಎಷ್ಟೋ ದಶಕಗಳು ಕಳೆದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅರ್ಥವಾಗತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸತ್ಯವನ್ನ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿರುವಾಗ ಕೆಲವೇ
How
ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ
fortunate are you?
ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ.
Can you ever describe this fortune in words?
ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅದೃಷ್ಟವನ್ನು ವರ್ಣಿಸುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿದೆಯೇ?
But it will be only a wasted fortune if you do not believe in what Swami is telling you and truly have faith in Swami's words and practice this message.
ಸ್ವಾಮಿಯ ಮಾತುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇಡದೆ ಅನುಷ್ಠಾನ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದು ಒಂದು ವ್ಯರ್ಥವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಂಪತ್ತಿನ ಕಾಣಿಕೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ.
Develop this confidence that we are self, that is God or divinity. That is the true self-confidence that you should live with.
ನಿಜವಾದ ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ದಿವ್ಯವಾದಂಥ ಆತ್ಮ ಎಂಬುದಾಗಿ ನಂಬತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು.
And like the dewdrops that disappear when the sun rises, all the fear and anxieties from your life will just disappear when this truth dawns.
ಈ ಸೂರ್ಯೋದಯವಾದಾಗ ಮಂಜಿನ ಹನಿಗಳು ಕಣ್ಮರೆಯಾದ ಹಾಗೇನೆ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಚಿಂತೆಗಳು, ಭಯಗಳು ಈ ಒಂದು ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನದಿಂದ
To the alumni, boys and girls, this is my call.
ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿಯರಿಗೆ ಇದು ನನ್ನ ಕರೆ.
Grow up to become like me. Don't be limited by your limited understanding of things.
ನೀವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ನನ್ನ ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಬೆಳೆಯಬೇಕು. ಮುಂದೆ ಒಂದು ಕೇವಲ ಸಂಕುಚಿತವಾದಂಥ ಭಾವನೆಗೆ ಕಟ್ಟು ಬೀಳಬೇಡಿ.
Cast away these external differences that differentiate you from me and live by the internal truth that is one and the same.
ನನ್ನಿಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಬೇರ್ಪಡಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಈ ಒಂದು ಬಾಹ್ಯವಾದಂಥ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸಗಳನ್ನು ಪರಿಗಣಿಸಬೇಡಿ, ಅದನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದು ನಮ್ಮ ಏಕತ್ವವನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸಿ.
You are unlimited, you are infinite, you are eternal.
ನೀವು ಅನಂತ ಮತ್ತು ಚಿರಂತನ ಎಂಬುದನ್ನು ಭಾವಿಸಬೇಕು.
Do not limit yourself in this ignorance that binds you to that little piece of wood.
ಅಜ್ಞಾನದಿಂದ ಕಟ್ಟಲ್ಪಟ್ಟು ನೀವು ಬಳಲ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಡಿ.
With one jolt of Lord's name on your lip and one little effort, you can break these shackles and set yourself free, which is only for you to do.
ಒಂದು ಬಾರಿ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮನ ನಾಮವನ್ನು ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸದಿಂದ ಹೇಳೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಪರಿಶ್ರಮ ಪಡುವುದರಿಂದ ಈ ಬಂಧನದ ಸಂಕೋಲೆಯನ್ನ ನೀವು
And then you
ಕಿತ್ತೊಗೆಯಬಹುದು.
can roam around freely in the forest as the king of the forest, and you don't have to be afraid of anything.
ಈ ಪ್ರಪಂಚವೆಂಬ ವನದಲ್ಲಿ ವನರಾಜ ಸಿಂಹನ ಹಾಗೆ ನೀವು ಓಡಾಡಿರ್ಬೋದು, ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ.
It is your own limited desires that cause selfishness and bind you to this temporary world to which you do not belong.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕ್ಷುಲ್ಲಕವಾದಂಥ ಆಸೆ ಆಕಾಂಕ್ಷೆಗಳೇನೆ ನಿಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಾರ್ಥ ಭಾವನೆಯನ್ನ ಮೂಡಿಸಿ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಈ ಪ್ರಪಂಚಕ್ಕೆ ಕಟ್ಟಿ ಹಾಕ್ತವೆ.
With one chant of name loud and clear in your heart and a little effort, break away these petty chains of desires that bind you and set yourself free.
ಒಂದು ಬಾರಿ ಹೃದಯಪೂರ್ತಿಯಾಗಿ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ನಾಮವನ್ನ ಉಚ್ಚರಿಸಿ ಪರಿಶ್ರಮವನ್ನ ಹಾಕಿ ಇದನ್ನ ನೀವು ತೊಡೆಯಬೇಕು.
And experience that boundless joy, that infinite bliss that is your birthright.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಜನ್ಮಸಿದ್ಧ ಹಕ್ಕು, ಈ ಆನಂದದ ಅನುಭವ, ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಅರಸಿ
You are
ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ.
not born to be bound and live a limited life of sorrow and misery. You are born to lead a life like that of Swami, free and blissful.
ಸಂಸಾರದ ಇತಿಮಿತಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಕಟ ಪಟ್ಟುಕೊಂಡು ಬಾಳುವುದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದ ಒಂದು ಗುರಿ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಅದರ ಬದಲಿಗೆ ನೀವು ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಈ ಅನಂತವಾದ ಆನಂದವನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಬದುಕುವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ.
Let once for all break this chain of birth and death and free yourself forever.
ಸದಾ ಕಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಒಂದು ಜನನ ಮರಣದ ಸಂಕೋಲೆಯನ್ನ ಕಿತ್ತೊಗೆದು ನೀವು ಸ್ವತಂತ್ರರಾಗಬೇಕು.
If you are not going to do it now, then when? If you are not going to do it here, then where?
ಈಗ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇನ್ನೆಲ್ಲಿ
This is the best time, this is the best place, this is the best situation to achieve it. Having lost this, you will not gain it back
ಇದು
again.
ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಉತ್ತಮ ಸಮಯ, ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶ, ಉತ್ತಮವಾದಂಥ ಸ್ಥಳ. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಇದನ್ನು ಸಾಧಿಸಬೇಕು.
With Lord by your side and your efforts in your hands, anything is possible. Believe in it.
ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿರುವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಪ್ರಯತ್ನದಿಂದ ನೀವೇನನ್ನು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಸಾಧಿಸಬಹುದು. ನನ್ನನ್ನು ನಂಬಬೇಕು.
May you all rise beyond this limited understanding of body and mind into the infinite realms of Atman. May you lead your life fearless like Swami and be always at the service of your fellow beings. May you truly be called the children of Swami, children for Swami, and grow to become Swami. With these words of benediction, I conclude today's talk.
ಈ ದೇಹ ಮನಸ್ಸುಗಳ ಇತಿಮಿತಿಗಳಿಂದ ನೀವು ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಂದು ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಚಿರಂತನವಾದಂಥ ಆನಂದವನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸಿ ಸದಾಕಾಲ ಇತರರ ಸೇವೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಡಗಿ ಇದನ್ನು ಸಾಧಿಸ್ತೀರಿ ಎಂಬತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸದೊಂದಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನು ಆಶೀರ್ವದಿಸಿ ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು
And as you lead,
ಮುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ.
so your younger brothers and sisters will follow. Be an example to them.
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಿರಿಯ ಸಹೋದರ ಸಹೋದರಿಯರಿಗೆ ನೀವೊಂದು ನಿದರ್ಶನವಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆಯಬೇಕು.
Soon we will meet again in the month of October and we shall discuss more about this.
ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿಯರು ಪುನಃ ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ ಮಾಸದಲ್ಲಿ ಪುನಃ ನಾವು ಸಂಧಿಸೋಣ. ಪುನಃ ಇದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಬಹುದು.
You may all proceed back to your respective towns. My blessings are there in abundance for each one of you.
ಹಿರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿಯರು ತಮ್ಮ ತಮ್ಮ ಊರುಗಳಿಗೆ ತೆರಳಬಹುದು. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಅನುಗ್ರಹಗಳು ಇದೆ.
पिबरे रामरसं रसने पिबरे रामरसं 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 पिबरे रामरसं पिबरे रामरसं जनन मरण भय शोक विदूरं जनन मरण भय शोक विदूरं जनन मरण भय शोक विदूरं सकलशास्त्र निगमागमसारम् सकलशास्त्र निगमागमसारम् सकलशास्त्र निगमागमसारम् सकलशास्त्र निगमागमसारम् पिबरे रामरसं रसने पिबरे रामरसं पिबरे रामरसं रसने पिबरे रामरसं पिबरे रामरसं पिबरे रामरसं शुद्ध परमहंस आश्रमगीतं शुद्ध परमहंस आश्रमगीतं शुद्ध परमहंस आश्रमगीतं शुद्ध परमहंस आश्रमगीतं शुकशौनक कौशिकमुखपीतं शुकशौनक कौशिकमुखपीतं शुकशौनक कौशिकमुखपीतं शुकशौनक कौशिकमुखपीतं पिबरे रामरसं रसने पिबरे रामरसं 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 पिबरे रामरसं ओम जय जगदीश हरे स्वामी सत्य साई हरे भक्त जना संरक्षक भक्त जना संरक्षक पति महेश्वरा ओम जय जगदीश हरे शशिवदना श्रीकरा सर्वा प्राणपते स्वामी सर्वा प्राणपते आश्रित कल्पलतिका आश्रित कल्पलतिका आपद्बांधव ओम जय जगदीश हरे माता पिता गुरुदैवमु मरियन्तयु नीवे स्वामी मरियन्तयु नीवे नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नाद ब्रह्म जगन्नाथा नागेन्द्राशयन ओम जय जगदीश हरे ओंकार रूप ओजस्विनो साई महादेवा सत्य साई महादेवा मंगलारती अंगुको मंदर गिरिधारी ओम जय जगदीश हरे नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम जय सद्गुरुदेवा नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण 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 ओम नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण ओम सत्य नारायण नारायण जय सद्गुरुदेवा शांति 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 समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु शांति 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 जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय।